In my late teenage years, my attention started to wane from hustling. I was fatiguing from the streets. I was disgusted by all the violence. I didn't want my people to get hurt. I didn't want to get hurt. And the truth is, I started to witness the possibilities of another, better life. I had another set of childhood friends that I was hanging out with more and more. These friends were heavy in the streets too. Not with the drugs and guns, but music.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about taking yourself to new heights, dare I say all the way up out of your comfort zone. We're back with the Don, Grammy-nominated hip-hop icon and now author, Fat Joe's opening up about his journey to the big time. When we went to break, I don't normally go to break speechless, but when you say the bad guy was made, right? Now you're looking for the good guy. You're trying to find the good in life and the journey. And you talk about being in the South Bronx.